and welcome to All About Sport on CavantTV.com, coming to you live from our studio at the Cavan Crystal Hotel, Dublin Road, Cavan Town. All About Sport is Ireland's first live web TV sports programme with nearly 2 million views in 212 countries worldwide. Coming up on tonight's show, our well-informed traders from Boyle Sports, Rory and Damien, are here to give you them all much-needed tips for the following events, including the GAA League Finals, the Premier League Darts, the Premier League Football, and that is all coming up on the show. And if you're looking for something to do this weekend, well, the Damien Brady Memorial 6K Fun Run is taking place this Sunday, the 26th of April, and that's starting at 2 p.m. from the Orchard Bar in Drummalee in Cavan Town. But first, I am joined by Claire Kearns, former Cavan Ladies footballer and captain of the Drumlane Ladies Gaelic Football Club, who recently won the 9-a-side league at the 3G pitch on Sunday. So Claire, you're very welcome to the show.
Thank you, Louise.
Well, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
I was delighted. Well, I had to get you on the show. I'm a former Drumlane Ladies footballer myself, so I had to get a former team member in. Great win for you girls.
Yeah, I've been playing football since 13 years of age, and it's nice to finally win the 9-a-side league, even if it's Division 3.
Yeah, brilliant. So it took place on Sunday at the 3G pitch, and there was lots of other games taking place that day as well, was there?
Yeah, there was the Division 1, 2 and 3 finals.
Yeah,
so a busy day on the 3G pitch.
Okay, so how many games do you have to play? All in the one day?
No,
just the one final, and you were playing Curragh na Féin?
Yes,
yeah. And so tell us a little bit about the game and how did it go for you girls?
It went pretty good for us. I think we were fairly matched throughout the game. We probably had about a 4-point lead towards the end, and we just managed to hold on to the goal difference at the end, as far as I can remember. It's all a bit of a blur, really.
Yeah, that's great. So that actually, now you were in Division 3, but that means next year for the 9-a-side, that'll take you up then to Division 2. I mean, a great team, the Drumlane Ladies has been running for a long, long time, but lots of young up-and-coming players on that team now.
Yeah, the majority of our team were under 21. A lot of former under-16 players who've just gone up to minor, and then quite a few under-16 players still playing with us. So it's nice to have a lot of youth and a little bit of experience there as well.
Absolutely. And you've brought in the what would we call this?
Shield.
The shield.
Yeah.
The shield, and we're just going to hold it up to the camera there. And this is 9-a-side league. It's been running. It's been running since it goes way back here to 2006. So
yeah,
I wonder if it's been running before that.
Yeah, I think it's probably been running longer than that, but maybe it's a new shield or a new division.
Great. So I'm just looking at then Killigar, who was last year's winners.
Rahan, I think.
Yeah, and you were saying to me as well that you've made it to the final 2 years in a row. Was it two years running? Or
2 years ago, we got to the final and we were beaten by Ballyhaise.
So you've been just so close to it.
Yeah, I think at the time we were struggling for numbers. We would have had 9 players at that time playing in the final. So it was nice to have, I think there was about 20 players out on Sunday. So it's just showing how the team is transitioning, that we're having a lot more young players coming through, and it's great to have a lot more than 9 players for a 9-a-side tournament, because it's very tough going with a small number of players.
It is, and a higher level of fitness is also required, and skill. So, I mean, obviously a very fit team, and in preparation for the league and championship coming up.
Yeah, it definitely increases fitness levels. The reason for the 9-a-side is that the county players are playing their league early on in the year. So the 9-a-side tournament is to give players who aren't playing county football a chance. So it's really good to, I suppose, keep people interested and get fitness levels up. So it generally does that. Yeah.
There was obviously the other games on the day as well. There was the Division 2 and Division 3, and the other winners, we'll probably catch up with them at a later stage, and are always welcome on the show. Claire, you were a former Cavan Ladies footballer. You played for many years, and you finally hung up your boots and moved on from that.
Yeah, I had a bad injury a few years back, and I was out for 2 or 3 months. And it was towards the end of the season when I was able to come back. So I suppose after a few years, it's hard to come back if you've had quite a break from county as well. And it was actually really nice going back playing club football, because when you're playing county football for a long time, you don't really get to know the girls. You don't get to train with them as often as the club, so and you don't get to play nine-a-side. And I have to say, it was nice playing this year and winning the tournament as well.
Exactly, I'm sure they're delighted to have you back on the team. You're preparing, you've got the league coming up now in June, and then followed by the championship. So you're intermediate, an intermediate team, and in the past you've done very well. A few years ago you won the junior championship, and that was great success for the club, because you'd recently, I suppose at that point, you were joined up with Bulturbet, the Rorys, and then you'd finally come back to just being Drumlane ladies again. Yeah,
it's taken quite a few years to get to the point where we have a lot of young players consistently coming through. There's a very good underage structure now in Drumlane, whereas when we initially split up from Bulturbet, there wasn't that underage structure, and now it's really coming through. And Colin Maguire, our current manager, would have been involved with the under-16 girls that are now minors all the way through, and has followed them into the intermediate team now. So I think, it's nice to see the underage coming through and all the work paying off then as well.
Which is important. Just to give a mention to your trainer, and that's
Colin Maguire, Maguire. And we also have Tom O'Brien and Mags Fitzpatrick and Charmaine Gilroy help out as well. So lots of help.
So it was great. Obviously, ladies football is really growing from strength to strength in the county. I suppose in your time playing football, have you seen, a huge change or an improvement, or I suppose that element that people are taking ladies football that little bit more seriously?
Yeah, definitely. I think I remember playing under 14 county football, and that wasn't today or yesterday, but at the time we really struggled against the likes of Monaghan, whereas now the Cavan underage teams are winning in Ulster. They're all Division 1, they're the top teams there, and I know they've had some big wins at underage recently. And the fact that the senior team, or the county team, are now senior, it's doing a lot for the football. Winning the All-Ireland final, it's really bringing it on. But I suppose the numbers supporting and getting out behind the county teams and the club teams, it's still very small, and you would have seen that at the finals on Sunday. But look, it's hard to get people out, and people have busy lives, and to get out to watch other people's football matches is hard.
It is, definitely, but it's definitely, I suppose, it has, I suppose spectatorship is growing, especially for the ladies. Now, we're going way back here, but 9 years ago, I remember I followed you intensely on TG Carher, the Underdogs.
Yeah.
So we can't forget that. So I suppose if any of our viewers are watching and you think, gosh, I've seen that girl before, but you were on yourself and Laura Corrigan, and she's in Australia at the moment. But tell us about that show. That was brilliant.
It was. Now, I was quite shy and retiring compared to Laura Corrigan on it, and I would have hidden in the background quite a lot. But it was a really good experience. I would have only played county football at underage for 1 year, and wouldn't have had the confidence really to play at senior level, say. And it was through the college that they encouraged me. I was playing with Trinity at that stage. And it really, really helped the confidence to see that you could go out and play with other girls who played junior county football, who had, you were playing against Cork, the All-Ireland champions, and it really did help, and that encouraged me to go into the county then the following year. But it was a really nice experience.
Yeah, so you had the cameras. How long were you filming for?
I think it started at the end of May was the trials, and then we played Cork in December.
Okay, so it was the Underdogs playing.
Yeah, the All-Ireland champions.
The All-Ireland champions, yeah. And they're still up there, like on all them years later. Yeah. Cork are still the team to beat in the senior championship. But yeah, it was a great programme, and I suppose really kind of highlighted and promoted ladies football. So it did.
Yeah, it did a lot for it, and it was good fun as well to watch. I think it was enjoyable to watch.
Brilliant. So you told me you're getting married now in July.
Yes.
So are you going to? There'll be no games of football on the day of the wedding, Claire. I hope not.
Yeah, but I think championship is scheduled to start the weekend of the wedding.
Oh, so that's always.
The wedding's on the Friday, so maybe on Sunday I might have to tug out. We'll see how things go.
So you're not going to be heading off on your honeymoon straight away?
No, we're not going for a month or so. So maybe I'll get a little bit of championship in, hopefully.
Well, once it's not on the Friday, but that's great. Well, Claire, thank you so much for coming in, and I just wanted to congratulate you and all the girls on winning the nine-a-side league at the weekend. Well done, thank you very much. So thank you so much to my guest, Claire Kearns, for joining me on this part of the show. But don't go anywhere, because coming up next is Rory and Damien. I am joined by Rory and Damien, and they are here with us to tell us all those predictions for all the upcoming events that are taking place at the weekend in sport. And sorry about that technical difficulty earlier on, but we're back, and here we are. Right, Rory and Damien.
Hey Louise, how are you? Great to be back.
Good, it's good to have you back on this beautiful, glorious evening.
Absolutely, yeah, it's a lovely day.
So we're going to kick-start off with the league finals, and you're going to start off with Division 3 Longford versus Offaly.
Yeah, Division 4 final, Longford and Offaly. It's on 5 o'clock Saturday evening in Crow Park. Now, Longford are actually the only team that hasn't lost a game in the whole league campaign in the whole 4 divisions. Like, they're probably too strong to be in Division 4 in the first place. Yeah. But they're even money, Offaly's even money. It's an absolute pick match. The draw is 15-2. When they met each other in the league, Longford won 13-10. I'd be edging towards Longford on this too. I think they're too strong. I think they're overpriced at even money.
Yeah.
What would you reckon?
Well, 2 Leinster clubs, probably. Yeah, you'd imagine like Longford should win. They got relegated from Division 3 last year, so they'll want to bounce straight back up again. There'll not be too many people at that match, only the diehards obviously.
And that's in Crow Park on Saturday?
Crow Park Saturday evening at 5 o'clock now.
Yeah.
And then after that we have the Division 3 final, Armagh and Fermanagh, 2 Ulster teams. These two will take a crowd with them now, 2 well supported counties. Armagh are very short here, 4-11. Fermanagh's 11-4 to flip it at, and again 15-2 to draw. Now, Armagh got relegated from Division 2 last year. Yeah. They were expected to walk through Division 3 and they've struggled really in all their matches. Fermanagh, there's nothing really expected of them. They've overperformed.
So there's probably nothing to lose as well.
No, so I think Fermanagh's a bet here. I know their captain's injured, he'll be missing, but I still fancy them to beat Armagh. I don't think Armagh's all that. 11-4 in
Fermanagh. In the league match as well, so there's not too much between the teams. You were saying 4-11 is too short, especially for a final.
Absolute ridiculous
for a
price,
league
really,
final.
isn't it?
It's crazy.
Yeah. Any preference for either county, Louise?
Oh, absolutely. Fermanagh. I'm wearing my Fermanagh colours.
Exactly, I thought down the Fermanagh colours.
Yeah. Well, my cousin used to play with Fermanagh, so Liam McBarnes, so I'm fully behind the Fermanagh team.
Very
I'm
good.
half Cav and half Fermanagh. The secret's out.
Very good. A bit of money at 11-4 will make you pay for it.
Absolutely, yeah. I'd have to go with Fermanagh there, I'm afraid.
Yes, we kick into Sunday then with the Division 1 and Division 2 finals. The Division 2 final is on first down in Roscommon. This is the Division Cavan. We're in Cavan, played both these teams.
Yeah.
When Down played Roscommon, Roscommon actually beat Down 115-111 up in Down, up in Newry. I've said before here that Roscommon are the best equipped team to deal in Division 1. I think they're the best team to win this Division 2 final. 5-4 is a good price. It's odds against.
Prices should be probably the other way around.
Exactly, yeah. I'd have Roscommon favourites instead of Down.
Roscommon probably our favourite. Well, obviously not, bookmakers don't reckon so, but...
Well, they have the experience. They were in the league final last year against Cavan and Crow Park, and Down having that experience.
You've been kind of back in Roscommon. Like
kind of followed them, yeah.
You do seem to have your preferences always towards them, but it's one of those...
Oh yeah, definitely. I totally agree with you on that one.
You know, when you're meeting an Ulster team again, they're always that little bit of an edge.
Yeah, but Downers,
they're one of these teams that could beat anyone on the day, but yet again, anyone could beat them at the same time. They're very inconsistent. Like, you know, you kind of know what you're going to get with Roscommon every day. Like.
Yeah.
So I'd be all on for Roscommon here at 5-4 now.
Yeah, can't disagree with you.
And that's Division 2. And that game's actually on Sunday in Crow Park, so it's a busy weekend.
Oh, busy weekend
in Crow Park, but and that one's kicking off then on Sunday.
Sunday at 2.
And that's going to be probably the biggest day, because coming up next then is Dublin and Cork.
This is the main event. This is going to put bums on seats in Crow Park. Dublin v Cork. Dublin are very short price here at 1-2. Cork are 2-1. The draw again 8-1 here. Draw is actually a bit of value.
Yeah.
Now, like Roscommon, I've been following Cork all season, and it's been paying off, like, you know.
The Dubs bet Monaghan in the semi-final. They weren't overly impressive.
Just about. Monaghan had 2 chances to get a draw in that game at the last minute. It was a great game.
Maybe 8-11. The Dubs is probably a bit more.
That's what I would have it, 8-11, 4-6. 1-2 is a ridiculous price. Anyone, you're insulting people by telling them to back Dublin on 1-2. Like.
Overall, how have Cork been performing to this point?
Cork have had the hardest league games. They've been playing away against the Ulster teams a lot too.
Monaghan, I think, and bet them up there, which not many.
Yeah, they beat Tyrone as well. Like, you know,
they're
more impressive wins.
They bet Dublin in the league as well. They bet them. I think it was 115 to 16 points.
That's right. Dublin riled off.
That was down in Cork as well.
That was down in Cork. Dublin riled off a few wins at the end to end up in the final. But definitely 2-1 Cork. You're not going to go too far wrong with that.
The handicaps, the lines are It's 2 pints. Dublin -2 is, I think, 11 to 10. Cork, is that right? Dublin
-2 is 5 to 6, and Cork
Yeah,
+2 is 11 to 10.
Yeah, and then
So if people fancy Dublin, 1 to 2 is a bit short to back. To come back to them to win by -2, that's to win by 3 or more points. Like,
just to really confuse it all.
Oh, exactly, yeah. Keep people guessing. That's what to do. So that's the GA covered.
Brilliant. And bring it on to your hot topic, Rory. The darts. Still running.
Yeah, it's still going. Tomorrow night's in Cardiff. There was a few draws knocked me out last week. James Wade drew with Gary Anderson, and Stephen Bunting drew with Phil Taylor in the last match.
Can't get them all right every week, you know.
I know, but
you have to give us a bit of money back sometimes, you know.
I did fancy Barney to get a result last week, and he bet MVG 7-3. It's just a matter if you can keep Van Gerwen going at a slow pace.
Yeah, you did say that last week, yeah.
And Barney did exactly that. He knows all about Van Gerwen. And he bet him 7-3.
It was the L dog for the long road and the pup for the pass, wasn't it?
But anyways, we'll start off with tomorrow night's games. The first game sees Stephen Bunting take on Gary Anderson. Bunting's a 3-1 shot, Anderson 8-13, and the draw is 21-5. These two met earlier on in the league. Anderson won 7-4 that night. It's hard to look past Anderson. Yeah,
I'd be in around the 7-4 mark again, I would say, like, you know.
Yeah. For the 7-4 to occur this week with Boyle Sports is priced up at 13-2.
7-4 or less.
I can't see Bunting getting any more than 4 legs. That's if he even gets 4 legs.
I can't make a case for him winning this or even getting competitive in this at all.
Yeah, like his 2 games last week, he lost 1 and drew the other, so he needs to win tomorrow night, but it's a big ask against the world champion.
Yeah, not going to happen.
So we're having Anderson in the first.
We'll draw a line through that.
Yeah, the second game sees James Wade take on Van Gerwen. Wade's 100-30, Van Gerwen 4-7, and the draw is priced up at 21-5. MVG bet Wade 7-4 earlier on. Again, 7-4 scoreline. It's priced up at 13-2 for the same to happen tomorrow night. MVG will win. It's only a matter of how many.
It's a no contest. This Wade hasn't got the game. Wade hasn't got the game.
Very, very good price on that.
Yeah,
it should be closer to maybe 4-9 or like Van Gerwen. I know he was beaten last week, but he was
beaten by an experienced pro last week.
He was on fire.
Wade hasn't got the game to beat him.
Yeah.
All in Van Gerwen.
Third match on Thursday night sees Barney take on Chizzy. It's 11-8 your pick. The draw priced up at 3-1. Chizzy bet Barney 7-5 earlier on in the league. For that to occur tomorrow night is an 11-2 shot. Now, Barney has been.
He beat Van Gerwen last week.
He's beaten Taylor twice in the last 4 weeks, I think, as well. Barney knows what to do on the big nights, but I can't.
Chizzy lost last week to Phil Taylor, who's the best darts player of all time. But apart from that, Chizzy is the form player in the Premier League. You have to go with the 11.
You're going with Chizzy?
Well, I am anyway.
Right.
Yeah, based on what you just said there, I probably would go with Chizzy too.
Yeah.
Well, for Chizzy,
he's lost to the greatest of all time, really, which can't happen. But apart from that, he's been the form player.
Well, if you were to put a gun to my head, I'd probably back him to have the most 180s at 4-6.
Yeah,
bombs in them, treble 20s.
Wouldn't put you off that, no.
Right.
Wouldn't put you off.
Fair enough. Yes. Fourth game is Taylor and Lewis. The master be the apprentice. Adrian Lewis has been with Phil Taylor all his life, learning from the best. He's won 2 world championships. Tomorrow night to come together again. Taylor 21-20, Lewis 15-8 and 7-2. Lewis won last week, Damien.
He has to win. He has to win some weeks.
Even though I was told he wasn't going to win.
I just think he's a very lazy player, and his attitude is all wrong. And he only can turn it on when he wants to turn it on. Like you don't get away with that against Phil Taylor.
Right.
Like, I just said he's trained him up and he's been with him all his career. Like Taylor's probably taught everything Lewis knows to Lewis, but he hasn't taught everything he knows to Lewis too.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
I fancy the draw in this game. I can't separate them. You know, like Lewis has been very, very impressive in the last couple of weeks. I can see him minimum a draw tomorrow night. I can't see earlier on in the league Taylor bet him 7-2. Like that's not going to happen again. I think Taylor has to win as well just to keep up his chances as well. So
yeah, maybe about 7-4.
You're Taylor 7-4.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I'm on the draw, and the draw is priced up at 3-1.
Great.
Now the last match of the night sees Gary Anderson take on Michael Van Gerwen. These two will have played earlier on in the night. Anderson is a 15-8 shot. MVG is 21-20, and the draw is priced up at 3-1. Van Gerwen bet Anderson 7-4 in the league. That for that court tomorrow night is an 8-1 shot. Can't see that happen. I think Anderson.
Yeah, well, you have the world champion here against the current number one. Like you know, like this is a cracker of a match.
Yeah, and every right for the last game of the night. Hopefully, the fans will be in for a real treat.
I think you can go 7-2 in the draw.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to separate them.
Bit of crack there. Best price there, 7-2.
Right, so
cheer on the draw.
Yeah,
Sounds
draw
nice.
in the last game.
Have you ever
Louise,
been
as well?
to a darts game?
No.
Possible to
Yeah.
get tickets for.
Really?
Yeah. Absolutely impossible to get tickets.
Well, you obviously from working in Boyle Sports, how popular is darts? Like, what would be the most popular thing that people like go in to bet on?
Would be first. Well, it was historically horse racing, and now the more and more it's been football, then Gaelic. Obviously, people literally bet on everything. Like, but the main things are horse racing and football. Like,
Yeah.
Greyhounds, you can do the numbers in the bookmakers. There's
like the night Lucy Beale, who killed Lucy Beale.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we took serious money on who killed Lucy Beale, and everyone wanted to bet on it. Like,
the Eurovision's coming up now. They'll be looking to back that as well. It's crazy. All the
I have to get you on
different.
Paul's show now to talk about that. We're moving on. Okay, well, we'll move on. We're going to wrap things up with the Premier League.
Yeah, we'll run
Damien.
through some of these matches here in the Premier League. Saturday morning, the first game at 12:45 is Southampton v Tottenham Hotspur. Southampton are 21-20, and Tottenham Hotspur massive price here at 3-1. Draws 5-2. Spurs are fading out like they do every time this year. Southampton are fading away as well, but both teams are still kind of playing well.
Yeah. Spurs won 3-1 last weekend. It was a great result away from home, I think.
Southampton are playing consistently well all season, but their goals are drying up here. They're having a problem scoring. I think 3-1 is a massive price in Spurs there. Like, absolute massive.
A shorter price, and it's a market that Wiles also covers the draw no bet market, 17-10. So if the match is a draw,
you're betting with the handbrake on there.
Yeah,
like, you know, if you're betting them draw no bet, it's great if the win you get a slightly profit, but if the draw you get your money back too. Just go for the straight win. Like, live a little.
3-1.
Live a little, Rory. I like that.
Live a little.
Right, so then we move into the 3 o'clock games. You have Burnley v Leicester. This is a relegation battle. Probably the team that loses this is going to be well on their way to get relegated. Burnley are 13-8, good price at home. Leicester are 19-10, a draw 23-10. Who do you fancy here?
It's going to be very hard to call. Burnley have a great home record. Leicester can win on their day. They can beat anyone.
They've come to life the last month. They've won 3 in a row. Like, that's unheard of from a team down that bottom of the league.
It's very hard. Like, the prices obviously suggest that it's going to be a close match. So
yeah, I'm going to go for a draw here. Leicester are after winning 3 in a row. Like, bad teams don't generally win 4 games in a row. Like, you know, so on the law of averages,
the fact that
go
Burnley
for a
have
draw.
such a good home record, I'm going to go for Burnley in this game.
Yeah, probably maybe a 1-0 or.
Yeah, I can see them a 2-1.
Well, I'd say a draw. Crystal Palace and Hull. Crystal Palace 21-20, Hull 16-5, and a draw 12-5.
Palace did us in last weekend.
Palace done us in last weekend. We had a great run there with Crystal Palace, and the minute they went odds on and were expected to win, they choked.
Yeah, they conceded an early goal. It was against West Brom. Gardner scored a cracker of a goal, but
the game was really over at half time, wasn't it? Like, you know,
they couldn't get over that.
Well, I'm gonna hold that against them now. Like, you know, Hull are scrapping, trying to get out the relegation zone. Palace are out of it. I'm going to go to draw here again at 12-5.
No, I'm going to go for Palace.
You're going to go for Palace?
Confident enough of Palace getting a result again.
They'll bounce back.
Yeah.
Newcastle, Swansea. Newcastle 7-5, Swansea 23-10. I just don't even want to talk about this game. Newcastle's just a horrible club, horrible team to watch. Swansea are a bit better now.
Why do you say that?
Their owner has no ambition. He just wants them to survive in the Premiership, and
are they?
they're just about. They're always around 10th or 11th. They're probably not going to get relegated.
They're on their holidays.
They're on their holidays the last couple of weeks. You know, like, it's a fantastic club as regards it's being supported a lot, but it's just a zombie club at the minute. It's just existing. There's no ambition.
They're just going through the motions at the minute. You know, they have a caretaker manager who's been in charge for the past 3 or more months. They're going to wait for the summer. They're probably trying to get Steve McLaren,
David Moyes, someone like that.
I think if Derby don't get promoted, McLaren probably will move to Newcastle.
Okay, so they're in kind of transition.
And they're playing Swansea, who, like Southampton, have been playing well all season, but The goals are drying up. It's getting near the end of the season. Legs are getting tired too. Maybe Swansea probably win this too, but I'll not be watching this.
Yeah, no, I'll be.
I have to go with the Swansea box.
Exactly.
After I lived in Wales, so
well
from the old Swansea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go for the draw in this game. Draw priced up at 23-10.
Great.
Right, then we have QPR and West Ham. Sam Allardyce, current West Ham manager, might be QPR manager next year,
Yeah. London derby as well.
Yeah, I get it hard to make a case for either team here. So,
I think QPR will do it this. I think
they're showing signs of life, aren't they?
Yeah, and if they can get a few goals, maybe. West Ham, I can't see West Ham scoring this weekend. I think QPR could nick this game 1 or 2-0.
Yeah. Well, I'll agree with you there. Yeah.
Okay, we'll move on to next one's guys. We're getting
near
in the end.
Stoke, Sunderland, two teams really, two not great teams. Stoke are 20-21, Sunderland 18-5, and a draw 12-5. You probably can't look past Stoke here, can you?
No. The 1-3-1 last weekend and a good performance as well from them. So
yeah, I just keep that going. Sunderland's near enough relegated. It's going to be a big ask for them to get out. The final game then at 3 o'clock on Saturday is West Brom against Liverpool. Liverpool bet in the FA Cup semi-final last weekend. They're a big price here at even money to beat West Brom.
They're even money for a reason though. Their record at the Hawthorns is desperate, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a West Brom even get a draw or West Brom win or even a draw.
Well, I'd fancy Liverpool for a bit of bounce back ability here at even money. You're not so sure. If your heart broke too many
watching
times.
the game last Sunday, how would you be sure about anything?
Right, the winners last Sunday, Aston Villa are 12-1. They're away to Man City at 2-7. Man City's totally out of form. They beat Newcastle last week and just about beat them. Villa were unbelievable last week in the FA Cup semi-final. 12-1 here is a massive price. Even the draw is a massive price at 5-1. Either of them for the value. We wouldn't touch City at 2-7. Not the
I'd be touching City, but not at 2-7. I'd back them to win and both teams to score.
Yeah,
that's priced up at 15 days.
That's your preference. I go Villa 12-1 and maybe a small bet on the draw at 5-1 to save. So then we've 2 games left on Sunday.
We've Everton. Won't be collecting.
We've Everton v Man United at Goodison Park. Now this is the game that cost David Moyes' job as Manchester United manager last season. Everton are 13-5. Man United actually a good price here. Odds against at 6-5. Although you were saying earlier on, it's probably about right.
Yeah, that probably is about right. United's record at Goodison isn't great. And Everton's over the past couple of months has been good. I can't see Everton scoring.
United got beat last week by Chelsea as well, but they still played very, very well.
Chelsea got a goal against a run of play, and the Mourinho factor kicked in after that. And obviously, whenever they didn't concede, they weren't going to lose the game. But United can take a lot of positives from that game. I fancy them to win, but
Everton are 13-5 at home. I'd be shocked if we were paying out in that Sunday evening. Can't look past United here.
No, I can't see Everton scoring. Good price from United as well.
6-5 odds against. You always have to back the big teams when they're odds against.
Yeah.
Right, the last game on Sunday at 4 o'clock is Arsenal-Chelsea. First v second in the Premier League. Chelsea win this to win the league. Arsenal win this to have a chance, but
there's no chance. League's over. League's over.
Mourinho settled in, same as he done for United. I know he nicked a goal last week against United. Eden Hazard scored. But 12-5 to draw here. I can't look past the draw.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah, it's
going to be. You're going with Arsenal on that one?
I'll go with a draw here.
Draw in the Chelsea-Arsenal match.
I don't think Arsenal are good enough to beat Chelsea. I think Chelsea will be happy to sit and take a draw.
It'll be a very poor game to watch now. But I can't see Arsenal.
What's your best bet of the weekend?
Probably City to win, and both teams have scored 15 days.
And I'm going to go for Mana as my best bet to beat Armagh in the Division 3 final.
Good
choice. Very good.
Brilliant. Right,
so
guys.
That's it in a nutshell for you, Louise.
Absolutely. Brilliant. Well, look, thanks a million. That wraps it up now for this week. So we'll have you back on the couch next week for more predictions and tips. So thank you so much to Rory and Damien. So that's it from All About Sport for this week. So that's it from All About Sport for this week from the Cavan Crystal Hotel, Dublin Road, Cavan Town. If you want to feature on the show, find me on Facebook, Louise O'Reilly, or follow at Cavan TV Sport on my Twitter page. Thank you for watching, and it's goodbye from me.